Oi! It's been a while, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you've been well. Dragonflight is around the corner. We got about a month left solid. And I thought it would be the right time to answer these questions since I've been getting them regularly on stream. How are RETS? What talents do I run for PvP, for beta, for retail, etc. So I'm going to cover all that. Let's start with how are RETS. If you're new to the game and you haven't played the expansion for about one or two of the previous expansions, it's gonna feel new and fresh. A lot of new abilities, cool talents. If you've been sticking around with Shadowlands, it's basically our talents, our covenants, our legendaries slapped onto the tree. So nothing new for us really. I guess a few abilities like these, but I don't see a lot of people using them. And to answer the question, Reds are not doing bad at all. Originally, in my other videos that I made for Blizzard, I wanted mobility and less damage and less healing. But we just have the same old stuff. Nothing new. And whenever I duel and upload a video, there's a lot of people complaining about our heals. And it comes back to what I said in the video. We're just gonna get nerfed or buffed on damage and healing and never get mobility, which is the fun stuff for us. So just to be clear, I never asked for damage and healing. I know a lot of people get mad at Paladins. We don't want more healing or damage. We want mobility. So let's not get it twisted, okay? Anyways, enough of that. This is currently the build I'm running for Prepatch. It's pretty much a solo build. As you can see, I'm not taking Blessing of Sync or Cleanse. This is all for myself, mostly for duels. If I do arena, depending on what I fight, of course I take off some talents and put them in here and here. But if you're trying to enjoy duels outside, which is the case for me, this is the go-to talent. And I'm currently not running Final Verdict because Justicar Vengeance costs 3 holy powers and it does more damage than Final Verdict. So it's a win-win. You do damage and heal. We can spend less holy power on Ward of Glory, which feels really good. And if they're stunned, we do a lot more. And as for honor talent, it just depends on what you fight. Obviously, Unbound Freedom, Blessing of Sank if you're playing arenas. Jurisdiction, actually a really good talent. I've been using this against classes that kite. It increases the Blade of Justice and Hammer of Justice by 10 yards and the radius of Divine Storm for 4 yards. Really good ability. I love this actually. Anyways, try out this talent and you'll have a great time. So this is for level 70. Now there are a couple builds. This is for PvP and I will go over PvE as well because I've been doing a lot of Mythic Pluses and dungeons actually. And you can check them all out in my clip channel. Reds actually pump in PvE at the moment. Hopefully it stays that way so I could do some Mythic content as well and enjoy. Because the last few expansions, the Reds were not doing that hot. Okay, so this is for 70. As you saw in my Prepatch build, it's a similar build. But this time we get Seal of Might and we get Zealot's Paragon. And on this side we get Divine Renaissance and Divine Toll. It is a very bursty build. However, there is another build you can go, which would be this way. And instead of going Imperial Legacy, Final Reckoning. So this is a nice build as well. But like I said, I am toying around with Justicar Vengeance. If you're doing Arena, you probably won't need Justicar Vengeance. But in duels, I feel like I'm forced to use Word of Glory in a lot of cases. So instead of using Word of Glory, I like to just do Justicar Vengeance. And with the Divine Purpose proc, it feels really good. And I actually saw something interesting today. Athelman, another really good red I met on the beta, he runs, instead of Divine Purpose, Sanctified Wrath, actually no, Seraphim for the burst potential setup. So in Season 1, if you remember, we used Seraphim, Wings, and then sent our Divine Toll for big damage, right? But along Season 4 or 3, I don't really remember, we got our 2-set bonuses that gave us Seraphim for free, so we stopped taking Seraphim for the burst setup and relied on the RNG proc. But if you want to do some setup and big damage, this build is actually very, very nice too. So shout outs to Anthoman. And Leveladin's another really good paladin if you want to check him out. He actually was the one that told me to try Seal and Order, since Sanctified Wrath got nerfed, and Seal and Order actually feels very, very good. I came into beta a little late, but recently I've been doing a ton of duels and mythics on beta and on Prepatch, so I've been studying myself. And these are the few builds we have at the moment. So if it comes down to arena, you just, instead of taking these, you take these. And if you need Cleanse Toxin, remove one from here and put it there. Simple as that. Or you could even not take this, for example, like that. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So it depends on your playstyle. But for me, this is what I have at the moment for solo dual builds. If you feel confident that you don't need a lot of self-heals and you want to just stay aggressive, and if you have a healer, you don't have to take Justicar Vengeance and you can just go this way. And you can have Divine Toll, Final Reckoning, and Final Verdict. And for PVE build, I am not taking Devotion Aura. Now this is very questionable. However, I am just putting every talent point possible into doing the most damage. And this is the most I can get out of it. We do take sack so that we can sack the tank. We can pop Divine Purpose and sack, or Divine Shield and sack. I prefer to use Shield of Vengeance so that I can explode on the enemy and do more damage. So this is just pure damage build. Now this is another debate right here, where you could honestly take this as well instead of Divine Purpose. But for the people that like the RNG, you could take that or stick to this. So this is totally up to you. But I like Divine Purpose, so I could just spam Divine Storm and it feels really, really good. And for the right side, I took the most cleave as possible since it is Mythic after all. And you're just trying to kill the most mobs as possible, right? So these are just all cleave builds. Doing the most cleave. Radiant Decree, amazing. If you're not using this in PvE, try it out. It feels really, really strong. And Exorcism, obviously you can do Consecration, Exorcism, and then the AoEs. And obviously Final Verdict is a single target damager, so I am going with these right here. Just all pure AoE. And this has been treating me right so far. However, I will say we're still on November 6th. We still got many days. These talents might change, so I might make another video in the future. But this is what we're going with so far. And finally, we have the raid build. As you can see, I'm not taking Hollowed Ground or a lot of AoE things such as Touch of Light. On the Mythic one, I was going with Consecration, as you can see right there. And this is purely single target build. And this is for the right side. Final Verdict, Vanguard's Momentum. Not going for this little AoE over here. Hammer Wrath has 1 extra charge and increase the holy damage done by 4% for 10. Stacks up to 3 times. So big single target build. This is what I've been playing for PvE. And that's pretty much it. If I miss anything, feel free to comment down below and I'll try to answer them. And if you want to see these talents in action, feel free to check out my clip channel. I upload all the duels, win and losses, as well as my mythic dungeons. And feel free to tune in streams. There's also going to be drops for these epic loots Blizzard has announced. So if you want these goodies, come stop by. Also, let me know if you guys want to see PvP, PvE, raid, what type of content, and I'll try to send those home. Until then, I'll see you guys in Dragonflight. Goodbye.